Wow, what a way to start a video. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the shop. The other day, Monday, when I'm filming this, I posted a video of me turning a spalted maple nesting set. Now, in that video, I did talk about how I have a really bad habit of procrastinating, just getting lazy when it comes to or after I've cut up the wood. And so to kind of go along with this theme of wasting wood, I have a pile of bowl blanks behind me that I have been slowly working through, that's been sitting there longer than I want to admit, and I'm proud of myself. The other day I did film a video turning one of those, which I'm excited to share with y'all here in a few weeks once the bowl dries. But today I thought we'll take a little bit of a different approach and just work through some of those. There are two particularly or specifically behind me that I really would like to work through. They're two of the ones that have been sitting there probably the longest, I believe, and then also they are, I think, the largest bowl blanks I've got over there, so I'm kind of just wanting to work through them. But I thought, let's have some fun today. Let's not worry about getting anything like a finished product or anything like that. Let's just do some turning since it is a really nice day, and let's also get it done before it gets way too hot because it went from being like a nice cool mid 70s here at the shop to it's jumped up to almost 90 within just 2 weeks. So anyways, let me show y'all what we're going to be working with today. So here are the two bowl blanks that I'll be attempting to turn today. I believe I said it over there that they are oak. They're around 18 to 20 inches in diameter, somewhere around there, so they're pretty big. They've been sitting here quite a while, ready to work through them. And also I have a shop update I'm trying to do in the next few weeks, about a month or so. And I would like these to be a part of it, but that's besides the point. I just need to turn them either way so that way they don't rot away. They are pretty big, and I've considered doing another nesting set out of at least one of them. I'm not sure if I want to go through all that today, if I'm being honest, but we may. I'll see how it goes. But speaking of wasting wood, we definitely will be coring out both of these as long as they allow it. There's nothing crazy in them, because now that I have a decent coring system set up, I'll enjoy coring about everything that I can. But anyways, let me get this mess cleaned up. Let's get them to the workbench and let's get them prepped. Definitely got some mold on them, so that might be some pretty coloration. Is that even a word, coloration? There might be some pretty colors in the wood, but I definitely will have to be wearing my mask, my respirator when I turn these. I have asthma really bad, so the sawdust already isn't doing me any favors. Yeah, this stuff's pretty bad. That's why they've been sitting there for a while. So yeah, I think they're going to be pretty though. When I'm turning multiple pieces like this, I like to go in and get kind of this like prep work done. You know, if it's wormwood screw or anything like that, go in and get this stuff done so that way when I go to switch the bowl blanks over, just take it off, pop a new one on. I don't have to even worry about this, which is 2 bowl blanks. It's not a huge deal, but if I were, say, to turn like 6, 7, 8 bowls or whatever, or more, whatever it may be, get this stuff done out of the way. It'll save you a lot of time when you get to turning. And also, it's just less annoying too. Decided to go with the smaller blank, rough it out first. Then once I get the outside of this one done, we'll switch over to the big one. Looking at how kind of tall this one is, don't think I'm gonna try a nesting set out of this one. We're definitely coring it, but I don't think I really want to waste my time, or not waste, but I don't think I want to take the time to do a nesting set with this one. The other one still up in the air, but this one 95% sure we'll just core it and then do something different with the other pieces. So anyways, gotta go wash my face shield. It is a wreck from turning some sweet gum yesterday. Do that, grab the respirator, because I'm definitely not going to be turning either of these without that this time around, a few weeks ago I turned some of this and realized I probably should have been wearing my respirator, so that's what I mean by this time around. But anyways, let me go take care of that, and then let's get these things turned. Well, we are set and ready to go. Got the face shield clean, got the respirator. Start off to rough this out, I will be using the Carter & Sons 3/4 inch gouge with the 16-inch handle. It's been amazing when I use it for stuff like this, these big bowl blanks like this. And then eventually, once I need to do some refining and stuff, I'll switch over to the 5/8 bowl gouge. But this is a good starting point. So anyways, like I said, everything's ready to go. So let's get this thing turned. All right. Well, we are about done with the roughing process. Just got to do the bottom here, finish that up, and turn the tenon on. And then I'm debating on, or I'm kind of leaning more towards doing this in a calabash style bowl, where it kind of, round bottom, where it curves in on itself, and then potentially adding a beaded rim up here to the top, similar to how Glenn Lucas turns his Viking bowls, and that kind of thing. Because I believe oak, it has a very, I don't want to say prehistoric, because that's too old, but kind of this old look to it. It has a very primitive look, maybe that's the better word for it, and I really love it. And I think doing that kind of bowl, like a calabash with the rim, it'll add a very kind of old-timey look to it, and I think it'll work for this piece. And it's kind of funny, because growing up back in the 90s, all the furniture that we had was made of oak with that kind of natural stain, and I absolutely hated it. Growing up, I could not stand oak. But as I have gotten into wood turning, woodworking, and so on, I have really come to appreciate oak. It is a beautiful wood. It turns really well. I like building furniture out of it. And looking back, I think it was just the style of furniture and how it was done is what I didn't like about it. But oak has definitely grown on me. I've really come to appreciate it. And I really like it because it kind of has that, I guess, primitive look to it. And then also, I'm debating on whether I want to go kind of thin on the walls here, because I know I've mentioned a lot in my past videos. I'm wanting to do more sculptural, artistic work. And I say those words a lot, but there is a reason why. And that is, for the past 10 years or so, I have done nothing but utilitarian work. Salad bowls, rolling pins, spoons, cutting boards, that kind of thing. Because if you didn't know, I own a company called Carolina Grain Co. You might have seen the sign in the background. I may have been wearing a shirt. I'll link it in the description, so on and so on. And that is my full-time job. That's my business that I started in 2014. It's my love of cooking, which I used to work in a restaurant, and my love of woodworking is the way I could combine the two. So I've been doing that for years. And here in the past few years, really specifically since starting YouTube, I've had this big desire in me to want to do more artistic work because, I mean, that's kind of where my background actually is. I majored in fine arts, switched over to graphic design and marketing because I didn't really believe I could make a living painting. But either way, here lately, I have really been wanting my work to be known from me. So when you look at a bowl, it's an Andrew McCarn bowl, or a piece of furniture, it's an Andrew McCarn piece of furniture. Not necessarily a Carolina Grain Co. bowl, and that's also why I've separated the two. I have a Carolina Grain Instagram, social media, and I have an Andrew McCarn, the channel, and it's a way for me to sort of get this desire to be more artistic out, and you know, I'm shifting more to that in later in my life. Like I'm really old, but I'm really getting off the deep end. But there just has been this desire in me to just be more artistic, kind of go back to my roots in a way. I know that sounds so sappy, but it's true. I'm not going to lie about it. And so I'm thinking with this piece, I'm 99% certain that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so that's a little bit backstory behind, a little bit more about me. And that's why I kind of like these vlog style videos, where I won't just start doing more of them, because I feel like I can open up more and just talk with y'all, let y'all get to know me a little bit more, and I don't have to worry so much about like progressing the video. But anyways, I am going way off trail here. So let me get my mask back on, let me get my face shield back on, and let's finish this one up so we can move on to the next one. All right, y'all, I have gone ahead and got the second bowl blank ready to go. The other one, I swept up the shavings, got it tucked away in there to sort of help alleviate any sort of cracking that potentially may happen. I doubt it will, because I shouldn't be long on this one, but just in case, better take precaution, right? We don't want to waste any wood around here. But looking over this one, I've already seen a knot, kind of like how the other one had, and then there's this also big chunk here missing. I think that's just where the bark was. I'm not entirely sure. But I do see this one leaning more towards the artistic design. I keep using that word, I know, but I do, you know, and I'm kind of thinking what would be cool is to sort of do a little body of work out of these two here. So do a similar design here, that calabash kind of rounded over design with the beaded detail, similar to the other one. And then when we core them out, we can do, you know, a few more smaller versions of that. But I don't know, I'm kind of just making it up as I go. So we'll see. But I think this one's going to be very pretty. I'm excited to see this one with all this mold and stuff on it. But anyways, I'm going to grab my mask, my face shield. Let's keep her moving. Alright, so I've gone ahead, got the first bowl back on here. Got the other one tucked away in the shavings now. No cracks or anything, which kind of figured I wouldn't have to worry about that, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So now all that's left to do is to put the tenon on the front here. And if you saw my maple nesting set video, you notice that's the way that I cord, turned a tenon on the front, corded it out, then went back and returned that. And I got quite a few questions, across the board on why I did it that way, because the more traditional way, I believe, is cording from smallest to largest, and then use a jam chuck to go back and return them. But the reason why is because I'm fairly new to coring, and I haven't quite got it down just yet. And what that does when I cord the biggest bowl first, it gives me some forgiveness there, a little bit of grace. So that way, if I mess up, then I don't have to worry about the wall thickness or if I got the depth correctly, because I have done the smallest to biggest in the past, and most of the time when I did it that way, the bowls, after I returned them and everything, they always were too thin, and I always just messed them up. And so what I found, like I said, is this gives me some grace. And then also another bonus of doing it this way is when I core, I'm not always coring to do a nesting set. I don't want every bowl to be similar, sometimes. So what that does is it gives me, like I said, a practically brand new bowl blank. So that way, like if, I said earlier we're doing a kind of body of work with these here, but say I wanted just to do something completely different, doing the biggest bowl first like that, it gives me some room for play there. I can just turn something brand, in essence, brand new, and I'm not stuck to just that shape. So that's just another reason why I do it that way. But yeah, anyways, let me get my mask. Let's get the face shield. I don't know. We need a counter of how many times I'm going to say this video. Anyways, let me get my gear back on. Let's get this tenon turned on here. And so for this, since the methods are all kind of the same now, I'm going to core this one out, put the core away, and then finish turning the inside of this bowl here. And then I will go on and get the other one done. And then after that, I'll check back in. So anyways, face shield, mask. Well, I guess I don't technically need my respirator this time, but anyways, I'm really going off the deep end on this now. Let's get some turning done. Oh, all right, y'all. We are done with the two big bowls. Absolutely love the way they look. The beaded rim here, I think that was a really good call to add to that. Add to the bowls. You know, it's a small detail, but it really adds a lot of interest to these pieces. And I love the way they kind of concave, or I guess this curve in on each other. For the cord pieces, I will get to that tomorrow. It's late, it's getting hot now, I'm ready to be done for the day, so I will come back to that tomorrow. The piece that we cord from this one, I should be able to take it and match the style of these bowls here. Not entirely sure, but I think I can. First bowl though from this one, the first cord from this one, I don't actually even know if I'll be able to turn it or get anything successful from it. When I cleaned up the top there, it had a lot of carvings, a lot of cracks and knots and stuff like that that I didn't realize at first, so I'm not entirely sure if I'll even take the time to work on it. I'll turn it, I'll just see. I don't know if it can be successful, but either way, with that said, I'm going to go and wrap up this video here. Stay tuned to the end though, because I will do like a final shot of either these two here, the three here, or all four of them if I do get to turn that. So stay tuned to that. But with that said, let me know what you think of this vlog style video. I know I've done one back in March, or two of them, where I turned a natural edge or a few natural edge pecan bowls and some natural edge oak bowls, and they seem to do really well. But yeah, let me know, because I personally really enjoy making this type of video. For one, it's a little bit easier than my more in-depth videos like the nesting set video. And also, I feel like you kind of get to know me a little better and a little bit more outside of just the woodworking world. Like I did today, I've done a lot of talking in this video, as I am right now. But yeah, I want to know y'all's thoughts. So anyways, guys, I've done enough talking in this video. I'm going to get these put away for drying, those tucked away in their shavings for tomorrow, and get cleaned up. So anyways, thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see y'all next time.